Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. Our big focus today in an unfortunate incident. An army chopper carrying India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, has crashed in India's southern state of Tamil Nadu. The Indian Air Force said that it was an IAF Mi-17 chopper which crashed near Coonoor in the state of Tamil Nadu. It has now been confirmed that the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, was on board the chopper. The IAF earlier confirmed that an inquiry has now been ordered to ascertain the cause of the incident. Sources also say that a total of 14 people were on board the chopper, including his staff and some family members. General Bipin Rawat's wife, Madhulika Rawat, was also on board. Search and rescue operations are currently underway, and sources are now saying that 5 bodies have been recovered, including 3 injured from the crash site. Furthermore, according to sources, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has briefed Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi about the matter and the accident. He also visited General Rawat's residence in New Delhi just a while ago. The Indian Air Chief will also be reaching the crash site in Coonoor. Once more, this is our top focus on WION World is One as of now. A military chopper carrying Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat and 13 others crashed shortly after takeoff in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It was confirmed by the Indian Air Force through a tweet, and 5 bodies were found from the crash site and 2 persons have been taken to hospital with severe burn injuries. A search and rescue operation is currently underway for more. General Rawat, his wife, senior defence officials and Air Force personnel were among the 14 people on board. An IAF Mi-17V5 helicopter, that's the chopper that crashed earlier today, with General Bipin Rawat on board, met with an accident today in Coonoor in Tamil Nadu in India. The Indian Air Force confirmed earlier through a tweet that an inquiry has now been ordered to ascertain the cause of this accident. What more that we can tell you at this point is that General Rawat had taken a flight from New Delhi, that is the Indian capital, to Salur earlier today, and that flight manifest had listed 9 people. The crash took place in the Nilgiris shortly after the Russian-made Mi-17V5 chopper took off from the Air Force base in Salur in Coimbatore for the Defence Staff Services College in Wellington, where General Rawat was scheduled to give a lecture. Once more, a military chopper carrying the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, and 13 others crashed shortly after takeoff today in Tamil Nadu. That is what the Indian Air Force confirmed. Let's tell you a little bit more about the helicopter or the chopper that is at the centre of this crash. The helicopter that was carrying the Indian Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, was an Indian Air Force Mi-17V5 helicopter. The chopper had taken off from the Salur Air Base. It was on its way to Wellington in Coimbatore. The Mi-17V5 is a modern transport helicopter used by the Indian Air Force. It happens to be a Soviet-designed Russian helicopter. The chopper is designed to carry personnel, cargo and equipment. It is also capable of dropping tactical air assault forces and reconnaissance teams. Equipped with modern avionics, the helicopter is capable of operating in any geographical and climatic conditions. The helicopter can also fly in adverse weather conditions. The Indian Air Force uses this helicopter to not only transport cargo but also deploy troops in operational areas. The Salur Air Base, in fact, operates these very helicopters. The helicopter can carry a maximum load of 13,000 kilograms, flying at a maximum speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Some more information about this chopper. India acquired 80 Mi-17 helicopters from Russia, and they are the workhorse of the Indian Air Force's medium transport fleet. The Russian-made chopper Mi-17V5 is a trusted aircraft used for all dignitary movements, VVIP movements, including that of the Indian Prime Minister. The last batch of the choppers were delivered to India in the year 2018. For all our viewers joining in to WION at this point, this is our big focus through the day. A military chopper carrying Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat and 13 others crashed shortly after takeoff today in Tamil Nadu in India. Some more information coming in is that 5 bodies have been found from the crash site and 2 persons have now been taken to hospital with severe injuries. A search and rescue operation is currently underway. On board the chopper was General Rawat, his wife, and senior defence officials. These were among 14 people that were on board this chopper that crashed in Tamil Nadu in India. The Indian Air Force earlier confirmed through a tweet that an IAF Mi-17V5 helicopter with General Rawat on board had met with an accident in Coonoor in Tamil Nadu in India. Furthermore, an inquiry has now been launched to ascertain the cause of this accident. Now, for more on this story, joining us now is Kamaraga, a defence expert. He joins us now from New Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. My first question, an unfortunate incident that we are, of course, covering. A military chopper carrying Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat and 13 others crashed shortly after takeoff. What more can you tell us about this? The rescue operations, of course, are underway.
It's a very sorrowful incident, and it's a very major tragedy. He's the first CDS and a very important man. He was introducing reform within the Air Force, the Army and Naval Forces. He was very active serviceman and very, important person in the defense establishment. Has a lot of respect and his this tragedy, occurred. I hope I can only wish him good luck, and we are hopeful, recovers soon and join services. Tragedy has taken place at a time, when the tension of frictions are there in both sides of Indian borders, the western border as well as northern side. With Pakistan and China, become a very difficult time for us, And he was the one who said earlier that Indian forces are fully prepared to take up any eventuality or any crisis on both the borders, I mean, it's a tragedy in which number of army officers were also traveling with him, Let's
Absolutely.
wait and see. Inquiry has been commissioned. Preliminary inquiry has already been commissioned, and the defense minister has already briefed Prime Minister, and his defense minister will also brief Parliament in few minutes' time. So we'll know more about the tragedy.
Mr. Aga, you mentioned the inquiry that has now been launched to probe the cause of this accident. What more can you tell us about this investigation? What will it entail?
They will find out what are the causes. First of all, they'll have to find out black box to know what went wrong. Then they will see, why this accident has happened. Is it mainly because of the whole southern India, and why he was allowed to take, if the weather was bad, then why he was allowed to take this flight. Besides this, was there some mechanical problem or engine failure? What went wrong? All these things will be investigated. It will take time. Not a preliminary report will come out soon, with a short time, but the detailed inquiry would take longer time, I suppose.
Right. Now, Mr. Aga, the chopper in question has been spoken about a lot. It was a Mi-17V5 variant, which is one of the latest versions of the military transport helicopter available around the world and part of a series of Russian origin. What more can you tell us about this chopper?
It is one of the finest or one of the best choppers in the world. It is well recognized, but we don't know the age of this particular chopper. This will come out soon, but this is one of the time tested, have been in use for a very long period of time in India. And generally the Soviet aircrafts are very hardy and considered good for Indian climate or Indian weather. They are, they make in such, this has one of the best avionics also. The radar system of this engine was this aircraft was also supposed to be very good. And why it has met with an accident, whether is it because of weather or is it because the train was very difficult.
Right.
It was hilly train.
That actually brings me to my next question, sir. Weather and terrain are two factors that have been mentioned by the experts and analysts that we've spoken since news of this chopper crash broke. What can you tell us about the terrain and the challenges that it poses in travelling, as well as the rescue operations that are currently underway?
Rescue, as far as rescue operation is concerned, it is taking place. We can see it on television itself now. The photos are coming out. But terrain was difficult, very difficult, because this is a mountainous region. Then hilly tracks were there. Pilot must have found very difficulty in landing when he must have discovered some problem. So these are some of the things, It is very difficult to speculate while sitting in Delhi, but difficulty was there. Terrain was difficult. Visibility must be another problem, You must be finding difficulty if the weather is bad, So, I mean, we should wait for a...
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.